thought Oklahoma State did a good job of coming back. Obviously, they had last night the kind of night we just experienced, and so hats off to them for coming back and wrestling. It's tough. We made it way too easy on them, obviously, and I think the frustrating thing, and it's frustrating. There's good and bad with it. The good of it is that there's very talented individuals that you saw wrestle tonight that didn't wrestle very well. The frustrating part is this group of guys, two things. They don't want to do the details that it takes to be great at wrestling. The weight issues, the lifestyle issues, the little things, I call them, the little things that make you feel good at the end of matches. They don't want to do that. I read this to him a long time ago, earlier this year. Coaching isn't about holding people accountable. It's about teaching them to hold themselves accountable. I was a high school coach for 18 years, and when you're coaching high school kids, you got to teach them everything. You got to teach them how to put their sweats on, how to take their sweats off. You got to teach them how to measure their food out. You got to micromanage them like crazy. And hopefully by the time they're seniors, you don't have to micromanage them as much. But because of maturity reasons, sometimes some of you micromanage all the way through. You shouldn't have to do that too much in college, but this team, starting tomorrow morning at 6:30, is going to be micromanaged. We're going to put them on the scale like ninth graders every day, multiple times a day. I let them do it their way, and it's not working. And I'm saying that as just an overall team. Obviously, we got some individuals here that are doing good things, but we've got guys that just need to be held accountable, and we've got guys that want to do it their way, and their way's really not working. So it wasn't that our effort was terrible, but you can't fake it when you don't feel good in the end if you're not doing the right things. And so it's not a one major thing. It's just a whole bunch of little things that add up in this sport that are getting us right now. So. I'll open it up for some questions. I do before I do that though is you're going to hear from Ian Parker in a minute. That's the one guy that really gets it. I mean, really gets it. He's a guy that you teach him how to do something and then he can do it. I'm just talking about lifestyle and toughness and commitment and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, Ian is always working to get better at wrestling, and we have to continue to get him better at wrestling. He's got a tough guy style and hard to score on, and doesn't put up a lot of points, but he gets his hand raised a heck of a lot of times. And so, we need more guys in our team to kind of live that lifestyle. David Carr did a great job. I told him in the locker room he's 1 minute away from, I think, shape-wise of really making a good run this year. But he's got to get one more minute in him. You can see him even a little this match here. He tailed off a little bit, but he worked really hard to get a major and do what he had to do for the team in a dual meet situation. So that was a great effort on David's part. Again, Gremmel obviously competed really hard tonight, and I felt like we got really good effort out of him. So 125, it's not important enough to us. He did a good job. He did an okay job, but that's the other part of this equation is when it's really important to you, you come in and you make the adjustments and you go to work. I just told Alex Mackel that if he wants to be the guy at the end of the year that's on the podium, it's got to get more important to him. But we're making strides there, but we're still 8 to 18 in the nation. No, 9 to 18 in the nation. We're not there yet until it becomes a little more important to him. Todd Small's just got to learn how to wrestle harder, practice. He conditions hard, but it's ridiculous he got 5 timeouts in that match. And he got tired at the end. That's ridiculous. Again, that's lifestyle and little things. Getting super heavy after matches. Coming back from South Dakota State, way too heavy. And then you got to crash down, and you feel it. So we coach him up and coach him up and coach him up. And like I said earlier in my press conference, there becomes a point when it's on you. And it's got to be a consistent thing. They've got to understand that they've got to live at that weight class or that weight range for weeks in order for them to feel good. And we haven't done that. We haven't paid that price yet. And that's on them. 41, great. 49, we missed Dagan. 57, we're getting there. We're really getting there. 65, again, just that extra effort. You know, I think I just don't know how important really important it is to him. You know, I think if it really was, I think he could contend. You know, and I'm challenging him here. I told him all last year what he was capable of, and he was, and he believed me, and he bought in. I hope he buys in a little bit bigger, starting tomorrow morning at 6:30. 74, just like, you know, cutting corners, wants to do it his way, doesn't want to be honest about where he's at weight-wise and what he did, and it showed up out there. 84, he's a mystery. He's a mystery in that there's a good guy in there. We haven't seen him for a while. 97, we're struggling. We're young there. That's the one weight where we're struggling the most. And I just talked about heavyweight, so I just gave it to you. You guys are done, right?
How do you come to the decision to micromanage as a coach? I mean, that's obviously a tough decision to make because you don't want to do that. So how'd you come to that decision? It's exhausting, but we have to, you know, and there becomes a point where there has to be honesty, and, you know, at least a ninth grader will tell you the truth. 21-year-olds that have had a lot of bad habits, you have to get the truth out of them, and then you have to micromanage them. So we got a few guys who just need to learn how to tell the truth and be where they're at.
At some point, this, like you said, it's little things, and it's a build-up type. At what point did you start to see the build-up to where, okay, it's now time to micromanage them?
I just watched that dual meet. It's time. We're changing directions here, and it's gonna be high school practices now. All right, we're going high school mode.
Anything else, guys?